Welcome. I'm your host, Anthony Cordova, Tony C., the Soul Reader. Hi. For some reason, I can't really tell who's in the audience today. I think Billy Dees is there. So, if that is you, Billy, hi. It's good to see you. For those of you that are listening to this show on the replay, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am happy you're here. Uh, I'm trying to push buttons and all, but things are not working the way they're supposed to this evening. Well, again, welcome to the Soul Reader, and this is where I do readings, psychic readings. I am a natural born empath, and that's where I am best at. Um, I was born this way. Feeling other people's emotions is just a part of me. So I've always been this way, and it's a. Here we go. Yeah, turn that volume down, Jill. You brought in an echo. Okay. We need to get rid of that. Oh, yeah, we're having technical difficulties this evening. Okay, echo's gone now. Cool. All right. So, what I do on this show, and welcome to this episode. This episode tonight is hating someone hurts your soul. So, I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. And also, so you know, anyone that's here in the audience live, I will be doing free readings tonight. So if you want one, let Jill know and we'll put you on the list and we'll get right to you. Now, when I do readings, it's a little different than other things you may have seen and all of that. I'm quite different than Tyler. Um, Although uh, I can connect to people on the other side, your loved ones on the other side. But the way it works for me is when I connect to you, then I can probably connect to your loved one on the other side, the one you wish to connect to, because we're all connected. So the way it goes, I go from me to you to them. When I connect to them, I'm feeling them, okay, or feeling their emotions. So when I do that, I have to take that emotions, the emotions I'm feeling, and translate that into words. Um, so nothing is like exact. Nothing's exact because I'm doing a translation, and things can get lost in translation. So, and then also, when I do a reading for you, I am focused on you. So the reading is all about you. If you're having a problem with someone in your life, and you might want me to tell you all about them, that's probably not what I'm going to do. I may give you some information on them, but I will more likely tell you a better way to interact with them because I feel you. So, and it's just like, you know, we can't always fix ourselves. Not that we're broken, but we may be going through something and have some issues, and it's difficult for you to be in it and solve it. So that's where I come in. So I can see things more clearly about you than maybe you can. So that's kind of how it goes. So we'll get right into it today. So again, this episode is hating someone hurts your soul. Now, why is that? If you have extreme dislike for someone, why does it hurt you? Well, human beings uh, are energy, and you want to have a good energy, a positive energy, a loving energy. A negative energy would be hatred for someone, uh, and for any reason at all. It's just that hatred, that emotion. Um, if you think about times in your life when someone has done you harm, done you wrong in some type of way, you feel that that anger in you, and it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. So when you have hatred for someone, that is affecting your body. It's affecting you physically, it's affecting you emotionally. When you have that hatred and that anger in you, and that's why I talk so much about forgiveness, and forgiving people that you would say do not deserve to be forgiven, but we would still need to try to forgive them. Anger and hatred is is such an awful thing. Now we may not realize how bad it is, but you can have it can turn into severe health issues when you're holding all of this anger or hatred in you, because your body is not moving freely. The inside, your emotions, your energy is not moving freely. It's not like clean and pure because you have all this anger in you, and it can develop into cancer, it can develop into some other type of bone disease, it could develop into mental illness. There's so many things that it can turn into because you are holding on to this anger, and it's very easy, simple if you want to look at it, and determine whether you are holding on to something. So you can think anytime someone has done you wrong, and especially someone that you really cared for, and they have done you wrong, wrong, wrong. So this happens in romantic relationships, it happens in friendships, it happens in family relationships, and someone can do you wrong, or you could be the person that's doing the wrong, um, and have anger towards someone else because they didn't do what you want them to do. They don't have to do what you want them to do. You do what you want to do, but they don't have to do what you want them to do. You can't force them to do what you want to do, but if you feel that you can force someone to do what you want them to do, that's not a good thing. Manipulating people is not a good thing. So you can get angry when they don't do this. You can have hatred for this person because they're not doing what you say. It's not a good thing, and from either side, either side. So if someone has did you wrong or you do someone wrong, it's not a good thing. It's not good for us. So identify it when you feel it, and I know you feel it. Everybody feels it when they're not feeling emotionally positive, when they're walking around with all of this negative stuff in them, just negative, and not liking someone because they come from another country, or to have hatred for them for that. um, it's not a good feeling, at all. So it's we really shouldn't do that because we're really hurting ourselves when we do that. You know that old saying, "Oh, this is going to hurt you more than it hurts me." Like when they would uh, give a kid a spanking or something. But when it comes to hatred and anger, and it really can hurt you more than it hurts them. You know, the anger or the hatred you're holding within you. Um, so you have to let it go. You have to forgive. And I'm not saying forgive and forget. Forgive, remember what they've done, and make sure that you don't get into a position to where they can do that to you again. Watch out for that. So that's a reason not to hold on to hatred. Now, I can't see still. Is there anyone in the audience, Jill?
Yes, you still have Billy.
Hey, Billy.
Ooh,
What is
static.
that?
We
Ooh.
have Heather.
Hello, Heather. How are you? And just so you know, Heather, I do free readings here. So I can do a free psychic reading, and I do readings a little different here. It's just like we're having a conversation.
And
Who
you
else?
also have Geraldine.
Geraldine. Have we talked to Geraldine before? Oh, the name sounds familiar. But Geraldine or Heather, if you would like a psychic reading, I give them free here. So all you have to do, and I don't know how the screen is showing up on your side, but if you see a ask button, you can hit that button and type in your comment or question, or if you want a reading tonight, or if there's something you're struggling with, just type in you want a reading, and we'll get to it. And for me, it's just like having a conversation with me, and then that's how I connect to you, and then we will move on with there. From there, I'm all tongue tied today. By the way, I just got off vacation. I just got home from vacation. So I live in metro Atlanta, but this morning I was in Miami, and I we drove back. So we drove all the way back, got something to eat once we got home, got ready for the show, and here I am. But I am ready to do a reading for anyone that would like it. And we could get right on into it. Right on into it. And I also have a safe word. So if you want a reading, um, the safe word is just stop. You know, if we're talking and things get a little too heavy for you, and I try not to divulge anything about you that I feel that you may not want the audience to know. So I try to pay attention to that because I don't want to put anyone in a bad position or to where they don't feel good about getting a reading. So if you are struggling with a death in your family, one of your loved ones has passed away, if you are struggling with just day by day, it's a struggle for you. It's a struggle to get up in the morning, it's a struggle to get through the day. If you're struggling with things like you don't know what the next step is in your life or where to go, or you're feeling like you don't have direction in your life, I can help you with that. Also, trauma. If you're dealing with trauma, a lot of our trauma comes from childhood. Uh, Not all of it, but some of it does. Often, quite a bit of it. If you're struggling with issues with your parents, it can help you with that. If you're struggling with a job situation, you're in a job and you hate it and you want to move on, but you're afraid to move on and you don't know which direction you want to go, I can help you with that. If you're struggling with school, with college, and you're unsure about which direction to go or to change your major or something like that, I can probably help you with that. So anything at all, because this show is all about you. I will never ask you for any money on Tuesday with this show. Never ask you to pay for anything. I'll never say, hey, it's a free reading, but if you want more than 3 minutes, you have to pay me. No, that's not going to happen. If if we're here, this is an hour show. If there's only one person that wants to get a reading, I will spend most of that hour just with you. So if you want that, cool. If you don't want that, that's cool too, because there is no pressure. No pressure. Or if you are a person that may be struggling with your gifts, um, I run into a lot of that. And I was one of them, struggling with my gifts. I really thought it was a curse for many, many, many decades. I thought it was a curse. Uh, Feeling people's emotions, knowing what's going to happen. Sometimes I would know when family members had died or are gonna pass away soon. Um, and there were feelings I didn't like uh, all of that stuff coming into me. The other issue I had, and like I said, if you are a empath and that's struggling with learning how to keep a- all of these other people's emotions from affecting you, I can help with that. I also had the same issue. I'm feeling all of these people's emotions my whole life. And I didn't even really understand that all of these other emotions were someone else's. I thought they were all mine. I thought there was something wrong with me. I thought there was something wrong when 1 second I'm feeling good, all is great, and then I could be standing next to someone and then I start feeling horrible. I might start feeling dread, uh, whatever emotion, whatever they're going through, whatever is affecting them the most, these are the things I would pick up. And not knowing that they weren't my emotions can really mess a person up, which it did for me. Thus, I walked around severely depressed for most of my life. Uh, no longer depressed, and I don't take any types of medication for it anymore. I did in the beginning to get some help to get, stable, and I did therapy and all of that. You do many things to get your mental health in line, in shape, to where you can live a better, full life and not just existing. Because that's what I used to say. How you doing? People say, how you doing? Oh, I'm existing. I'm getting day to day, day by day. Um, that's how it was. So if you are a person that believe you have some gifts and you're experiencing things, you may be a person that when you close your eyes, you start seeing all types of situations and all types of people and all of that is part of being a psychic when you don't know how to control it or you haven't mastered that yet. So things like that I can help you with. And I can just help you with the day to day. We sit here and talk, and I just get a little more insight on you. The other thing, when I connect to people on the other side, so your loved ones that have passed on, like I said, it's not like Tyler. Tyler will say, "Oh, they're wearing this type of clothes, or they look like this and look like that." That's not what I do. I go by how I feel. When I feel what they're doing, so who they are, I feel who they are. But uh, what they do on the other side for me, because they know that that's how I communicate. They will have me say things that they may have said when they were here. So I'm just talking, but I'll say things just the way they said it. So I don't say, "Oh, they're saying this now." That well, sometimes I do say they're saying this now, so on and so forth. But other times they just come through and they might have me gesture in the way they would if they had distinct hand movements. They'll have me move in the way they would move, or some other mannerism. If they might been a person that winked a lot, they might have me wink at you, and you would connect to that because you would know that person does that. But I don't particularly know that person did that when they were alive. They just have me do it, you know, and the person that I'm giving the reading to will see it. And they show me all types of things. Sometimes when they connect to me, they allow me, and these are the ones I like the best. They allow me to feel the other side. So when I can feel the other side, it's a feeling like you cannot imagine. The unconditional love that comes through, it just radiates through me and just makes me happy and calm. I'll immediately just start smiling, or I might start smiling and crying because it's that joyful, it's that joyous. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful feeling. I wish I could feel like that every day. Right here on this planet, it would be absolutely amazing, 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 amazing. Um, you know, something just popped in my head, and it's about connection. Now, I tell people all the time that we're connected, that we're actually like physically connected, like with a tether that runs from one body to the other. And it's hard for a person to grasp that, especially a person that has no types of gifts. And when I say gifts, I'm talking about the whole metaphysical realm, because there are so many things that we can do, and we all don't do them the same way. We all have different skills that we do best. Some are physical empaths, some are healers, some are, everybody does something different. The psychic mediums, they see things differently than I would. But all of us do many things We have many gifts, but we're just better at some than others. And the way we interpret things are different. So going back to we're all connected. It's hard for people to understand that and believe that when we say we're all connected. But on this show and other shows, people have come for readings and they will tell me I did three other psychic readings from other psychics, and they said the same thing. They said exactly the same thing. And this happens over and over and over again. So we may have different ways of sending the message, to creating the message, to giving you the message, and connecting to the other side, and connecting to all of this other stuff that's on the other side. But we all do it, and it all ends up pretty similar. So the same kind of the same answers, the same advice, something a little different and all of that. If we all of us weren't connected, we couldn't do that. we couldn't do that. So if you're doubtful about psychics and whether they can really do what they do, um and I'm not saying that everybody's on the up and up. We got stuff like that in every area. But however, when someone is legit and you see that we all come up with the same answers about the same person or the same situation, we're able to do that because we all of us human beings are truly connected. And that's kind of proof that it is, because how else can we do that? It's like uh a lot of you, if you're younger, you may not know this, but you can take a tin can or a soup can and tie a string to it, and put a hole in it, tie a string, and a knot, tie a string to it, and on both ends. So two cans, and we used to call it telephone. And if you pull the string tight, you can talk into it, and the person on the other end can hear it. Okay? It's just kind of like that with us. So that's why when I connect to someone on the other side, I connect to you first. So the line is running from me to you, and then the line runs to your loved one. But it's endless. It's infinite. So with that, you can connect on to someone else, to someone else, to someone else, to someone else, because we're all connected. The reason someone can come to this show, and when I do a reading on the show, uh, I just begin by having a conversation. But shortly after we start the conversation, and sometimes it's instant. I can kind of tell you who you are. I might say, "Yo, you're a person that acts like you're quiet, but you're not really quiet." You know, this is uh, you act like you're quiet. That's what you present to the world, to the people, maybe to the people at your job, but you may be totally opposite on the inside. Um, some people aren't sure about themselves, really not sure about themselves. Okay, but they may be the person that acts like they have all the confidence in the world. These are the things I can see. How can I know this stuff? if we're not connected. So anytime you see psychics and empaths and they're on the money, the things they say to you, for you, are right on point. That would be proof that, there is more to this world than one person here, another person there, another person there. We're all connected. We're all connected. And if we begin to realize and understand that that is the way we were made, to be all connected, maybe then we can start to love each other and treat each other better than we do now. Because right now, people on this earth treat each other horribly. just horrible, the way we treat each other. It's just really awful the way we do. And the things that, unfortunately, some of the things we think are important aren't really as important as we think they are. Some of the things we give value to are not that important. It is not that important to have the latest and the newest car. It is not that important to have the best styles, to wear the best styles and to be up to date on your wardrobe. Those things are not that important. It's not that important to hang with the in crowd, to conform, to to be just like everyone else, to be accepted. That is not that important. It's not. In the big picture, it's not that important. To have tons of friends is not that important. It's important to have friends, but to have tons of them, and some of your friends aren't really your friends. You say you find out when things go bad, and you find out who your real friends are, who's in your corner, who will help you. You know, human beings, when there's a disaster, like in Hawaii right now, people will go out of their way to help their fellow human being, right? And it's wonderful. It's wonderful when with no, you're not looking for anything back. You just want to help your fellow human being that's in need. That is fabulous. But that's how we should always be. Not when there's just a disaster, not only then. When you see the homeless person on the corner. Now you may say, "Oh, they're faking it. They're not homeless. Oh, they might have more money than me." Maybe they do. Maybe their job is standing on the corner asking for money. Maybe that's true. Is that a reason to hate that person? Is that a reason not to help that person? Let's think. Why are they in the situation where they have to stand out on a corner and beg for money if they're not truly homeless? What is their life going like? What is their life like where they have to do that. They have to act like they're homeless. So in reality, that person may really need some help. And maybe it's not the couple of dollars that you give them. Maybe they need some help in trying to find a way to get their life together. But then on the other hand, maybe they are there because something just went wrong. They've been living paycheck to paycheck. You'll be surprised how many highly educated people are living on the street. So when you see someone, don't instantly look at them with, like this show is, hatred. Don't instantly do that. You really don't know their situation. You really don't. And you never know if you stop and talk to someone that's homeless, you might find they have mental illness. They need help. You might find they was living paycheck to paycheck and they just need somebody just to give them a tip. Hey, go over if you're looking for a job, you can go over there, so you might know someone that is giving jobs, that's in a position to hire them. Help them that way. But don't look at them with hatred. Don't do that. It just hurts you more than anyone else. So please stop doing that. Please stop. Please stop. Because as human beings, we're supposed to love each other or have some love for each other. But we're definitely not supposed to have hatred for each other. Not at all. Not at all. Whew, boy. Well, Jill, I still can't see if anybody's in the audience or if anybody's sending comments. So,
I don't see any comments. You still have the same 3 people.
well, thank you everyone for still being here. And if you don't want a reading, maybe you just want to make a comment. Maybe you just want to say something. Maybe you want to say something positive. I don't know, but it's okay here. There's no pressure. Whatever it is you like, if you just want to stay and listen to me ramble, I could sure do that. But shoot, I'm already in like 40 minutes. So I may wind this down in a minute if no one else wants anything. If there's no comments, no questions. Oh, yeah, and I can take a question about any situation in this realm. Uh, any question you want. You don't have to come on the stage. You can just type your question, and we'll read it off, and I will do my best to answer it.
I have a question.
Oh, okay, Jill.
You know,
You
I
gotta
always,
your
I always have questions.
yeah. Your question is, when are you gonna stop talking?
No, that is not what I was going to ask.
Okay.
My question relates to your topic.
Okay.
So you say in every show, you can feel people's energy.
Yes.
So I'm curious, what does hate when someone is feeling hatred for someone else? What does that feel like to you?
Well, it's a hard thing to describe because what I would initially say is that think of what hatred feels like to you. So what does it feel like when someone hates you?
Well, that's on
And
the
they
receiving end. I wonder
yeah,
what it's like to actively hate someone. I don't know
and
what that feels like.
and what you have never hated anyone in your whole
I've
life?
disliked some people. I've disliked, but hatred is a really strong
Yes,
word.
hatred is a very strong word, and if you have never had hatred for anyone, that's a good thing. Okay. So, and I
I think it's
understand.
a learned behavior, so that's why I'm asking.
Well, yes, it is a learned behavior, but that is that's a whole new thing. That's a whole new thing. But you know what? Even children, when children are toddlers and they're playing, right? And one toddler wants the ball, but the other toddler won't give it up. And the toddler that wants a ball will get angry, and they'll get so angry, and they might start throwing a tantrum. They might start hitting the kid with the ball. Okay, it's kind of a form of hatred. It's in there. We have it in us. We have the ability to have hate for someone just on our own, just as a person. And yes, hatred is also taught. So if you have a parent that teaches you to hate another person, you learn how to do that. And there's different levels of hatred, of anger and hatred for someone,
Just as there are different levels of love.
of love also. So your question is, what does it feel? That was the question. What does it
Yes, because
feel
on the
like?
receiving end of it, it's exhausting. So what is it like
Yes.
to
When you
feel that?
when a person when a person, let's say they hate a person for their skin color, okay? That is something that's taught. That's a type of hatred that's taught. This is what I know because I feel people, and this is why my topic is about hate. Hatred hurts you. So they've been convinced through training that hatred makes them feel superior. This type of hatred makes them feel superior, feel better about themselves. Okay? But in reality, it's the things they don't feel good about themselves that's driving it. Okay? So there's things they don't feel good about, but this hatred makes them feel like, oh, now I'm better because I'm better than someone else. But it's not. It's false.